Our rules are simple, but the challenge is great. All dinos will be explored in this challenge, but only reasonable underdogs voted on by the community will be considered for grading. Equipped with primitive saddles, our 19 contenders will be backed by the commanding presence of a loyal Uranus providing that extra boost. Compared to the island bosses, the Manticore is cake, so the herbivores in this challenge won't be getting their own cakes to help with healing. All competitors will be going into battle with 40 base points in all their stats, no mutations, and 40 experience levels split evenly between health and melee. Competitors are required to fight the Manticore on all difficulties, starting with Gamma, then Beta, finishing with Alpha. Their success will be annotated on this scorecard with a pass-or-fail system. Clearing the Manticore on all difficulties earns them a gold boom medal. Silver is awarded for clearing Beta, bronze is for clearing Gamma, and a chunk of shit is for shit. Now let's introduce our competitor and see if they have what it takes. Rhyniognatha. This is what you get when an Apache helicopter hate fucks a Louisiana cockroach. The Rhynio comes packing a mountain of utility to include a fear roar, outstanding mobility, and the ability to carry large creatures, and it has the unique ability of transforming sap into resin that it can use for various attacks and an armor buff that can be used on the ground. The Rhynio is coming into this fight with 10,800 health and 581% melee. Now let's see if they have what it takes. As the green portal hums to life, the Underlocust is ready to buzz into the Gamma Manticore arena and make things nice and sticky. The AI attacks are turned off for now, but don't worry, they'll be on later. I think it's important to see how creatures perform with and without the AI attacks on, because sometimes they can identify bugs, such as situations where the AI attacks are off but they still use them, which we have seen before. The Underlocust doesn't have any blinding speed when it comes to flying, but it's enough to keep up with Gamma Manny, and even without a lot of points in melee, they're clearly doing the most damage that we've seen against the Manticore so far. This bodes well for the Beta and Alpha difficulties if the Underlocust makes it there. The Rhynio is an absolute powerhouse, and in case you didn't know, you can't breed them naturally, so if you want an army of these, you're going to have to sacrifice an army to get them. The death worms that pop up from time to time provide an excellent opportunity for you to courage roll your creatures as they approach to remove them from annoying commander Utes. I highly recommend using a Uranus during this fight since his courage roll removes torpor from your tames. The Rhynio is able to fold the Gamma Manticore like cheap origami, earning a pass and clearing the Gamma stage. Blue portal time means Beta time and an increase in stats with the Beta Manticore. The Underlocust buzzes around with confidence, and even with the decreased damage against the Beta Manticore, it's still pretty decent considering their stats. And I know what you're thinking. You hear the Rhynio buzzing around when you're in the swamp. You hear it all the time. It might scare you, but that's 7,000 RPMs of bone-shattering vibrations, baby. So make sure you mount that thorax firmly and be prepared for the ride of your life. The Manticore is a pretty easy boss as it is, but when you bring in an aerial attack tank, it gets a lot easier. Commander Utes enjoys these fights with flyers the most since he doesn't get attacked that often. I think he even chased a few butterflies at one point. The Beta Manticore flies all over the arena, and it almost looks like he's running away from the Rhynio, and he kind of is. He's constantly trying to get some distance to fling torpor darts at him, but the relentless roaches don't let up one bit. They smoothly glide in pursuit and absolutely shred the Beta Manticore, taking him out and earning another solid pass, clearing the Gamma stage. It was game time on Sunday, and I threw on some clothes, hopped on Commander Utes, and we made our way over to Manny Sling's doghouse to watch the game. I was skeptical about coming over because of his history, and I'd be lying if a small part of me wasn't worried that I'd wake up face down with a sore ass tomorrow. Honestly, the juice was worth the squeeze because it gets lonely on the Ark, and I haven't had a buddy to watch the game with in a long time. I was actually excited to put our differences aside and even give this fella a fresh start at a new life. I know he just got out of prison and hell. Maybe he was reformed. I knocked on the door and it slowly creaked open. It's kind of like a scene in a movie where someone learns that there's an intruder in the house. "Manny, you here?" I shouted. I told Commander Utes to wait outside while I went in to investigate, and I heard some commotion coming from his nesting area up on the big pillar. As I got closer, the sound became all too familiar. The clapping of a juicy booty and the haunting shrieks. I came over to bury the hatchet, and he was too busy burying his manicock in mama broods. I should have known this was just a ruse to get me to come over so he could assert dominance. I knew she still had a thing for him, but I didn't think she'd take it this far. This motherfucker was gonna pay, and so was she the next time I saw her. That's why I brought the Underlocust, to use their aerial dogfighting abilities with their sticky goo and plaster this bastard to the wall. They take him down easily, earning a pass and a full clear. Heading over to the scoreboard, the Underlocust earns a solid gold boom medal. If you haven't had the opportunity, I'd encourage you to stop in on my stream on Saturday nights. It's always a good time, and I love the interaction with you all. We have a lot of content to cover in the future, and Extinction's going to be out soon. That means we get to use more creatures in the expansion series against the island bosses and here against the Manticore. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to help this community grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.